This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, social service agencies face an uncertain future as they struggle to attract government funding. Going public yields positive results for a local man who was the victim of a weekend burglary. And we'll find out what part a drug-making university student is playing in this year's capping show. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Finance Minister Bill English will be delivering the National-led government's eighth annual budget in Parliament on Thursday. It comes as organisations in the social services sector are under increasing pressure to prove their worth, and industry leaders say that could lead to mergers in the community.
Studying the finances. Dunedin Council of Social Services Chief Executive Alan Shanks is eagerly awaiting the next budget. He believes organisations in the sector may have to merge if they can't attract central government funding by proving how they help people.
Well, the interesting thing is that we're going through some fairly major changes in the sector, particularly around some of the RBAs, which is results-based accountability that the government are rolling out through the particular renewal of contracts from the Ministry of Social Development. And part of that will be that some organisations, unfortunately, are going to probably find that their contracts will either be reduced or be discontinued.
Shanks believes family violence and housing are going to receive more funding in the budget. But he says the government's focus on results-based accountability may mean some tenants in Dunedin's community house might have to merge.
There's been clearly a directive from government and MSD that as organisations in the sector, we cannot afford to work in a silo environment. You know, organisations they've got to come to terms with the fact that there is a new model, and I think collaboration and partnerships is only going to be more in the future, and you know, we just can't continue to sort of protect our patch.
He believes agencies need to make a paradigm shift in the way they work together more effectively. Just what the nation can expect in terms of support from the government will be made clear on Thursday. Finance Minister Bill English is scheduled to deliver the budget in the House of Representatives for 2 p.m. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
The Southern District Health Board is performing slightly better against government targets. In the first quarter of this year, the board managed to increase its performance in a range of specified areas. They include more access to elective surgery, timely cancer treatment and increased immunisation. The only area the Southern DHB has slipped in recently is processing people through emergency departments. The national target is for 95% of all patients to be admitted, discharged or transferred from ED within 6 hours. The SDHB is achieving that for 94% of patients. Locals are rallying to help a man with cerebral palsy whose vital possessions were stolen in a burglary. The North East Valley resident was devastated when he returned home from celebrating a friend's graduation to find his bedroom ransacked. But his public appeal for help is giving him back some freedom.
The signs of forced entry. Police are investigating the burglary of a North Dunedin house just a few doors down from the community police station. Resident Josh Perry says he was stunned and felt violated to find his room ransacked and his computer, iPad and other possessions stolen at the weekend.
I was like, oh my goodness, what's happened, you know, how could this happen? And I saw all my clothes on the floor, everything had been gone through.
Perry says it was a terrible end to what had been a great night celebrating with friends, some of whom were visiting Dunedin from overseas.
When you come home from a night from town, especially on a graduation weekend when all your friends are down from different parts of the country and around the world.
He's spoken with police who described the burglary to him as a professional job, from the forcing of the window to the lack of fingerprints. Although Perry's giving up on ever seeing his things again, he's pleased with the Give a Little fundraising page that he set up 2 days ago. It's already past the $1,300 mark and is inching towards $1,700. So Perry will be able to replace this 10-year-old laptop he's borrowing from family with a new device. With his sometimes isolating condition, he says the technology is crucial. He's hoping the thieves face justice and that no one else has to go through a home invasion. Daryl Baser, 39, Dunedin News.
Motorists can expect to encounter more than usual amounts of effluent on southern roads over the next week. Dairy farmers, share milkers and truck drivers are busy transporting stock between Southland, Central Otago and North Otago. It happens around this time each year as part of the annual winter grazing and farm changeover. The Otago Regional Council is urging truck drivers and farmers to minimise the amount of effluent spilling on roads. It's asking for animals not to be given green feed the night before travelling. There are 7 effluent storage tank sites in the region and the council plans to build more in the next few years. A wayward drug-making University of Otago student is the central character in this year's camping show. It's the institution's 122nd annual review, and its directors are ensuring it's equally funny and offensive.
Taking student struggles to the stage, the city's tertiary scene is being exposed and somewhat ridiculed during this year's Otago University Students Association camping show.
It's students writing and performing sketch comedy which is relevant to students, I guess.
Mixed in with some music, some songs by Sexy and Sexy Tat and the band, and then the Selwyn Ballet, of course, is another traditional aspect of camping show.
Rose and McGrath got involved in the annual event in 2014 as actors, despite not knowing what a camping show was. They were assistant directors last year and are now taking the hot seat. This year's theme is based on popular television series Breaking Bad, with a making grad twist.
A student who's been at the university for a really long time gets kicked out because he's a useless student and has to find a way to pay back a whole bunch of money that he's owed to the government. So he decides to start selling drugs as opposed to having cancer.
Yeah. And then it's just the story of how, what happens next. What does the proctor do?
The show's heavy with parody and puns in style with the traditional comedic nature of such reviews. Many different students are involved, and not just those interested in theatre or music.
They've got no acting experience in the first place, or definitely no acting experience like camping show, because it's its own sort of brand. And that's really cool seeing them come in, and then just, you can tell they've got like natural confidence, and they seem funny, so like, well, let's put them on stage and see what happens, essentially. Yeah.
The show opened a week ago and closes on Saturday. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we have details of an upcoming fundraiser that involves tossing your boss, and Orokanui Eco Sanctuary takes in some new residents.
Hi, this time of year we like to keep our customers warm and comfortable, and we sell a lot of moleskins, and we've got them all on special. Check out these, Tussock Creek, 2 weights and they're a great price. We also sell Lee stretch moleskins, 5 different colours, short and regular. Great buying, moleskins, Alex Campbell Menswear, 3 stores.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
We're a 25 Moray place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. We're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Come one, come all to the Lana Castle Winter Ball. Traditional dancing, dining and fun to be had. Dress up in your Victorian costume and experience the glamour of yesteryear and witness the address of the haggis. Friday 22nd of July, get in fast as tickets are limited. Call 4761616 or go online to www.lanarkcastle.co.nz.
Are you within your legal rights to take one life in order to save another? Welcome to the ambiguities of law. Because whilst the law may be clear, there is still room for both yes And no!
What? No!
The decision will depend on logical thinking and the art of argument. And this is what we learn at New Zealand's first and world-renowned law faculty.
You can stop now!
I'm Latafale, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
New Zealand Beeswax Limited are the quintessential beeswax, woodware and beekeeping suppliers. From the amateur beekeeper to the commercial operator, New Zealand Beeswax Limited has the quantity to meet your needs. For great prices, great service New Zealand-wide, contact New Zealand Beeswax Limited on 03 693 9189 or visit www.beeswax.co.nz.
It's on again. The Star Regent 24-hour book sale starts noon 10th June. Don't miss out!
For professional, reliable and approachable service where your dream kitchen design can become an affordable reality, contact the team at Kitchens for Less. Call 455 9973 or visit us online. Oamaru's Fire and Steam is a unique family event coinciding with the Steampunk New Zealand Festival. Fire and Steam is being held Friday the 3rd of June from 6:30pm till 9pm. The festival is to celebrate fire, steam, sound, light and music. Harbour Street will come alive. An annual event not to be missed.
Dog with Two Tails Cafe and Bar on Moray Place. Proud supporters of New Zealand Music Month, May 2016.
Welcome back. The government is cracking down on the commercial fishing industry after stark revelations about illegal dumping. The most comprehensive study of the sector to date shows almost 3 times as much fish is being caught than what's reported. Much of it is being illegally dumped, and the government is responding by increasing surveillance. It plans to fast-track the rollout of electronic monitoring equipment and cameras on all commercial fishing vessels. The government is also reviewing its fisheries management system with a view to publicly announcing recommended changes later this year. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. And the NZX 50 has closed the day down 35 points. It's now at 6,873. The FTSE is down 20 points. To the exchange rates, and the Kiwi dollar is down against all the currencies we follow. More than 24 corporate leaders are preparing for an uncomfortable challenge at Forsyth Bar Stadium. They're taking part in this year's Toss the Boss fundraiser for the Malcolm Charitable Trust. And Chief Executive Andy Kilsby is here to tell us more. Good evening.
Good evening.
What is Toss the Boss?
Well, Toss the Boss is a great opportunity for community and business leaders to show what they're made of and demonstrate their skill and their bravery by descending a 37-metre free air abseil at Forsyth Bar Stadium.
Ooh, how many people are doing it this year?
We've got 24 bosses lined up, and we've got 4 young people also taking part in the event. The 24 bosses are raising funds for the Malcolm Trust. The 4 young people are raising funds for charities of their choice.
Do you happen to know if the boss for Channel 39 is going to be part of that crew?
Well, which boss would we select? There were so many to choose from, but
they could all have a go.
Exactly. I'm sure you could name a few.
What kind of professional roles are participants in?
Look, we've got the Mayor Dave Cole leading the charge, and he's actually producing a safety video for the rest of the bosses tomorrow, and we'll play that on Thursday. And essentially, we've got the Chamber of Commerce Chief Executive Dougal McGowan, the head of the Community Trust Barbara Bridger, and a range of corporate and business leaders in town as well. So it's really fantastic who's lined up for us.
Let's hope they have current life insurance sorted out. When did Toss the Boss begin?
Toss the Boss began for us in 2013. Some staff were actually kicking around some ideas in the Malcolm Trust in a kind of a way that we could actually put a challenge down to people and get I guess, business leaders, etc., to actually walk in the shoes of young people who have some significant challenges in front of them in life, and how they could actually demonstrate that and also potentially raise funds for a good cause like the Malcolm Trust.
How much are you hoping to raise?
We're hoping to kick our record of 22,000 out of the door, so we're well on track for that. So please do get to www.malcam.org.nz and you can support your favourite boss there.
What will the money be used for?
The money is used to actually support a range of youth development exercises that we run. The Malcolm Trust facilitates experiences that enable young people to make successful transitions. And what that means is going from education to employment, disengagement to employment. It's a tough road and a tough ask for young people to make that transition effectively. So we need to put in place certain experiences that can help them along the way.
What do you think the bosses get out of this?
I hope a sense of satisfaction for taking part in something pretty cool. I do know one boss in our first year who was probably the most reluctant to do it at all. He came back running into the room after he'd done it and said he wanted to do it again. So we hope for a bit of magic like that.
What a good man.
Absolutely.
Is it hard to convince people to do it?
It varies, shall we say. Some are very keen to do it, some are not so keen, but when you actually set out what the cause is and what they're going to be doing, you know, they're pretty keen to take part, so it's all good.
And an abseil is I've actually done a wee bit of abseiling once before and I didn't really enjoy it at all. But you're strapped in.
Oh look, you're as safe as houses. Dave Brash and the team at Dunedin Climbing Limited do a fantastic job. They are the absolute pros in the event, so our bosses will be really safe when they do it. But it is a challenge. It's a long drop. It's a long way down.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how far up is it?
37 metres from the top of the stadium to the bottom, and so they're actually going from the upper service gantry. So if you're sitting in the Spates stand at Forsyth Bar, and you're looking up at that gantry right at the top, that's where they go from all the way to the pitch below.
So you would break your legs if you were to jump that?
Let's not even contemplate that for health and safety reasons, but certainly it would be a very quick trip down.
What is demand like for your services?
Look, it's an interesting space for young people in Dunedin. We do a fantastic job with education and we do a fantastic job keeping our young people involved in that. The key challenge for us as a city is the transition from education and how we actually support young people into employment, into a life of fulfilment and direction. And that's the key thing that we're trying to do in the city. It's tough according to our demographic and some of the economic conditions we have here. So that's why the Malcolm Trust is here. We'd like to put ourselves out of existence at some point in time, but there's still a strong demand for us to be providing services.
Oh, keep up the good work. Malcolm Charitable Trust Chief Executive Andy Kilsby, thanks very much for your time.
Pleasure.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, a rare breed of Kiwi makes Orokonui its temporary home, and we'll find out why a local music man says New Zealand Music Month should be discontinued.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special 0800 502 402.
Dog with Two Tails Cafe and Bar on Moray Place. Proud supporters of New Zealand Music Month, May 2016.
Oamaru's Fire and Steam is a unique family event coinciding with the Steampunk New Zealand Festival. Fire and Steam is being held Friday the 3rd of June from 6:30pm till 9pm. The festival is to celebrate fire, steam, sound, light and music. Harbour Street will come alive. An annual event not to be missed.
Hi, this time of year we like to keep our customers warm and comfortable, and we sell a lot of moleskins and we've got them all on special. Check out these, Tussock Creep, 2 weights and they're a great price. We also sell Lee stretch moleskins, 5 different colours, short and regular. Great buying, moleskins, Alex Campbell Menswear, 3 stores.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Finding that your grass seed just won't grow? Ready Lawn has the perfect solution for all those lawn woes. Call Ready Lawn today on 486 1819.
I understand now how economics can affect global warming. And I found out how grass growth in New Zealand affects Fashion Week in Milan. I can even tell you how smartphone technology affects the survival of mountain gorillas.
Sorry.
Because at the Otago Business School, it's not just about the world of business, it's how business affects the world.
I'm Kim. Michaela.
David. And this is our place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Come one, come all to the Lana Castle Winter Ball. Traditional dancing, dining and fun to be had. Dress up in your Victorian costume and experience the glamour of yesteryear and witness the address of the haggis. Friday 22nd of July, get in fast as tickets are limited. Call 4761616 or go online to www.lanarkcastle.co.nz.
We're a 25 Moray Place, Dog with Towers Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Welcome back. Port Chalmers residents are being asked to conserve water following a leak at a treatment plant. The Dunedin City Council says the suburb won't run out of water, but residents will have to reduce their usage over the next week. That is so stores can return to normal level for firefighting. The treatment plant isn't currently being used to supply water to residents. A leak arose when a valve malfunctioned around midnight last night. Residents are being asked to hold off on washing cars and windows and to consider other ways of conserving water, like having shorter showers. 6 more kiwi chicks are settling into the confines of the Orokonui Eco Sanctuary. The kiwi chicks from Christchurch were released into the Dunedin Reserve yesterday by staff and members of the public. They're among the most rare breed of kiwi. Already, the Eco Sanctuary above Port Chalmers is home to many kiwi and other native birds. The chicks will be spending a few months inside the semi-wild facility before being transported to predator-free islands where they will be released. Only 5% of kiwi chicks survive in the wild. New Zealand Music Month is drawing to a close, but some in the industry believe the 16th year should be its last. A local music retailer says the promotional initiative is no longer working and he's seeing a change in consumer preferences.
Forget about New Zealand Music Month, how about New Zealand Music Year? That's the message from Two Tone Records proprietor Tony Renouf. He says the event doesn't make much difference at all to the amount of New Zealand music he sells.
Very little. I don't really see any ups and downs during the year as far as selling New Zealand music. I specialise in second-hand New Zealand vinyl, so people will come to me outside of May and seeking New Zealand music.
Renouf thinks the people behind the annual initiative aren't in touch with industry professionals like himself at the coalface of local music retail.
To be honest, I received 8 A1 posters the same size as this one this year and 8 A3 posters to display in my shop, and to be honest, I barely have space for the one that I have up. It just seems to me that whoever's sending them out is possibly a little disconnected with what's actually going on in music retail here in Dunedin.
Some rare and early pressings of New Zealand music records fetch hundreds of dollars as they're hard to find. Renouf says modern technology is making it easier to judge what a record is worth.
Now with the internet than it was previously, when you really only had maybe 1 or 2 reliable guides to price. You know, now there's at least 3 sites that I use to judge pricing of stuff.
He says while many people are listening to compressed music digitally, there's an appetite for more traditional sounds.
I've noticed a resurgence in vinyl, which is a healthy resurgence in vinyl, because there's certainly a lot of stuff that was being sidelined because it was only available, or it was
available on too readily on CD, a lot of people are coming back, and a lot of people are exclaiming that they are experiencing a warmer, fuller listening experience from listening to vinyl.
New Zealand Music Month comes to a close on May the 31st, the way it began locally, with performances at the Central Public Library. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
And to now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. The Dunedin Council of Social Services is awaiting this week's budget announcement in Parliament as agencies struggle to attract funding. Residents are helping a young man with cerebral palsy to buy new communication equipment after his bedroom was ransacked by a burglar. And the university capping show is in its 122nd year, exposing campus life to students with offence and satire. Well, it's time now to find out what's going to be in Wednesday's Otago Daily Times, and we're joined by Craig Page. Hello.
Good evening. Yeah, we've got an interesting story on motorists living north of the city, with the Northern Motorway to have a bit of an upgrade for winter driving this year. There's going to be a new webcam and a weather station installed in Pigeon Flat. That the webcam is going to be updated every 4 minutes, so motorists will be able to check online and just see whether the road is, what state it's in before they head out from home. This is sort of stemming from last year, where there were a lot of concerns from residents who said they couldn't get enough accurate information. Often heading from home and then finding they were stuck halfway up the motorway. So it's good news for them. We've had a bit of an angry response today from Presbyterian Support Otago in response to Housing Minister Nick Smith's comments about claiming there's no housing issues in Dunedin. They say they've been compiling stats since last year's big rainfall in Dunedin, and certainly an issue in Dunedin. They're well aware of people living in cars and garages at the moment, and they've got up to 20 people who they consider homeless at the moment in the city. So hopeful this budget on Thursday might be able to throw them a few crumbs and help them out in that situation. And finally, we've got a lovely story from Frank Penny, who's getting recognised tonight for 75 years service with the Masonic Lodge in Dunedin. He's 96 now, joined up obviously as a 21-year-old, but got an interest when he was living just a couple of houses down from the Masonic Lodge and thought, I want to be part of that. And here he is, believed to be the only person who's clocked up 75 years for the Masonic Lodge in the country. So good effort there.
Good effort indeed. Read all about that in tomorrow's ODT. Thanks, Craig.
Certainly.
Time now for local weather.
This 39 Dunedin News weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Emu Oil.
Here is today's city view, as taken of the city from Mount Cargill. Nice to see some blue sky in there. Around the city at 3 o'clock today, not terribly warm with 10 degrees in the central city, 11 at the Gardens and 12 for the Tyree. To the situation, and a strong cold southwest stream is still blowing over the country. What that means around some of the main towns in the lower South Island for tomorrow is sou'westers and showers in Invercargill and Te Anau, and some cloud about with sou'westers for Gore and Alexandra. And sou'westers with some cloud for Queenstown, Oamaru, Wanaka and Twizel, all on 10 degrees again tomorrow. In Dunedin tonight, a period of rain, but it is expected to clear. Tonight's low 5 degrees. Mostly fine at first tomorrow, but cloud increasing during the day. More showers developing from evening with 10 degrees. And on Thursday, cold with freshening sou'westers and a high of 8. To the Otago Pallet Fires, tidal and fishing information. Low tide tomorrow afternoon is at 1:45. High tide follows at 6:20. And fishing conditions look good tomorrow, especially around 3:10 in the afternoon. And that's local news for Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.